So I'd like to start off with a positive angle here and ask Antonio to tell us about the digital era. How much more good does it have to offer us in terms of society, democracy, and building on what is good in society through these new technologies?
Thank you very much, Nikos. Thank you very much, everyone. Well, I believe the advent of the information age is really a huge force for democratizing everything. I'm sure Giorgia is going to tell us a lot, for example, of the democratization of information. And of course, this has all sorts of consequences. I think something that's happening now is, because this is so new and because this is touching everyone's life, what we're seeing is that there is a significant lack of understanding. And I think there's sometimes misplaced fear on technology on some fronts, and in some other fronts, there's also excessive trust on some other technologies. And I think this all will evolve as we get more familiarized and as we see the evolution of all these information technologies, let's say, moving forward. In our case, we have been developing technology to make governments more transparent and more efficient, specifically elections more transparent and more efficient. And I'm a big believer that you can use technology for good or for bad. This happens from the prehistoric times. A knife, you can use it to cut your food or to kill a fellow human being, right? So the important thing is that we try to use it for good and minimize the bad. And in a sense, that's what we're trying to do. It's just an example, but I think it's a relevant example. Elections and the corruption that usually goes around elections to try to skew the vote or to reduce the integrity of the vote or tamper with the vote, or sometimes simply the errors that are introduced in a complex election can be reduced greatly by the inclusion of technology. Of course, good technology, which is another point. There is good technology and there is bad technology. So you can have a very well-designed product that is fit for purpose, and you can have a product that is not fit for purpose, and it might produce even the opposite result, right? So I'm a big believer, of course, in technology, and just by looking at history, I'm very optimistic about the future, because technology has normally only introduced, let's say, long-term benefits and not the opposite.